When did you discover your guardian angel had been working minimum wage the whole time? The biggest rumor at our school wasn't about ghosts or haunted hallways. It was about the janitor, Mr. Halden. People said he was ex-military or Secret Service. Some said he was in witness protection, hiding in plain sight. He never talked much, never smiled, and always seemed to know more than he should. He had that look, like he'd seen things he couldn't unsee. No one had proof, but that didn't stop the stories. He moved too quietly, knew too much, reacted too fast. A few kids even said he had a badge once, caught flashing from under his coat. It should have been a joke, but it stuck because part of us believed it. After the fire drill, the rumor changed. Before that moment, Mr. Halden had just been a background mystery, just a janitor with intense eyes and a permanent scowl. But the way he moved that day, it didn't feel like an accident. A freshman had collapsed. He couldn't breathe. He didn't have an inhaler with him. Even teachers hesitated. Mr. Halden, running at full speed from across the parking lot like he'd been waiting for it, he knelt and pulled an inhaler from his jacket like it was standard gear. Whispers started again, different and louder this time. Maybe he used to be a paramedic? No, military, right? That was the rumor before. But then I started noticing him more, noticing things I'd missed before. When I stayed late in the media lab working on my film project, he was always around, mopping floors, wiping down lockers, emptying trash. He was always 2 rooms away, every time. Not in the same spot, but always close enough to see me if he leaned out. At first, I thought it was coincidence, but it kept happening. Once we locked eyes for a second too long. He nodded, slow and deliberate. A junior told me he once got in trouble for sneaking into the gym after hours. He thought he was alone, but when he turned on the lights, Mr. Halden was already standing in the bleachers. I swear he didn't walk in, he told me. He was just there. Another kid claimed Halden broke up a fight before it happened, like he sensed it or something, he said. I laughed it off in public, but inside, I started watching differently. That was when I remembered something. Every lockdown drill we'd ever had, Mr. Halden ended up in the hallway right outside my classroom. It stopped being a school story when it followed me home. The first time I noticed it, it was close to midnight. I was up editing footage, room glowing from my monitor. I glanced out the window. A black SUV sat idling across the street, no movement. The second night, it was back. Same spot with the same silence. I asked my mom if she'd noticed. She shrugged it off. Probably someone visiting the neighbors, but her voice was off, too casual, too prepared. She didn't even look out the window when she said it. Then I saw him, just for a second. Someone was standing under the streetlight 2 houses down, buzzed hair, tall, still. It looked like Mr. Halden. By the time I blinked and looked again, he was gone. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being followed. One night, it was boring. I was driving home late from school, texting my mom about dinner. I barely noticed the light turn green. I rolled into the intersection without thinking. Then, headlights. A huge truck. It was moving fast, not even trying to stop. But just before impact, I felt a jolt. Something slammed into the left side of my car. It wasn't the truck. Like something or someone hit me first and shoved the car sideways. The truck clipped the back of my car instead of crushing the driver's side. Glass shattered. Metal screamed. Then, darkness. I woke up on the sidewalk. Rain falling in sheets and standing over me, soaked to the bone, was Mr. Halden. He knelt beside me, hand on my shoulder, checking my pulse like a field medic. I tried to speak, but he didn't answer. Just gave me that same quiet nod. I heard the sirens arriving in the distance. When I looked back up, he was gone. I wasn't even sure if he was ever there. The hospital room was quiet except for the soft beep of the monitor and the rain tapping the windows. My mom sat beside me, gripping my hand like she was afraid I'd disappear. I asked her what happened. She hesitated, then told me everything. Years ago, she testified in a federal case. The man she helped put away had power, money, people, and he'd promised revenge. For years, nothing happened. Then, a few months ago, anonymous threats started up again. Emails, notes, untraceable, but serious. They didn't want to scare me, but the U.S. Marshals weren't taking chances. They assigned someone to you, she said softly. Someone trained, someone who could stay close, unnoticed. I stared at her. They picked someone with protection experience, retired Secret Service, low profile. I didn't need to ask who it was. Mr. Halden, the fire drill, the inhaler, the hallway presence, the black SUV, the crash. The rumors were true. He had been in the Secret Service. He had retired early and taken a position no one would question. A janitor at a high school. He was never watching the school. He was watching me. While we gossiped, joked, and called him creepy, he was building a perimeter, watching exits, tracking threats, lurking not to intimidate but to protect. I asked if I could see him, just to say thank you. My mom shook her head. They pulled him right after the accident. Turns out the truck wasn't just reckless. It was a warning from him. They traced it. You're safe now. I lay there silent, realizing he lived in the rumor just to stay invisible.